Well, hello again, another little video. This one is on Loco speed problems. Now, the main problem with the speed is the fact that if you code the Locos in by their number or whatever it might be, Railmaster puts a governing speed in. It isn't so bad if you've got like some of these bigger ones like the Expresses and stuff like that, but if you've got like the shunters, like that one there, it does cause problems. Because if you put like that one, the Schenker up there, or there's one over there which is Circa one, if you code that in, what it'll come up as 35 mile an hour, and the train will not go over 35 mile an hour. I know people say, well, you shouldn't go over 35 mile an hour because that's the way of real life. But if you want to push a train around a bit quick, but you control them by your speeds anyway. So I'll show you one example. This particular one here, which is the John Dewey, which is basically is that one there, which is the Rushton. Now I've put it in as coded, and its maximum speed is 10 mile an hour. No matter how much you try and push it, it will not go over 10 mile an hour. And I'll exhibit this one. So if I now go into reverse and push it, now I've actually set it at 40 mile an hour. Look, that is 10 mile an hour. Now if I stop it and put it in forward and put it in shunt at 10 mile an hour, yeah, it's going at the same speed, because in Railmaster it has been governed. And what happens is, if you go to here now, you can show this on all your trains, but the thing is, if you've got like Bachmann trains, you've got to put them in specially any road. So just got to wait for this to come back up. There we go. Now if I go down to that little particular train now, which is this one here, you'll see it is governed by 10 mile an hour. If you go to any one of these other Locos, the Peckett and all that, these have been changed because I do them differently, but if you go to some of these others, you will get them that they've got this one here now. What I'm going to do with this now, I'll just come out of it for a second and I'll show you what I mean by the voice. If I click my voice on now and click that, which is the voice.
Railmaster voice control ready.
Rushton, Rushton, Ruston, Ruston, Rushton. There it is. Let's come up. Here's my hand, switch this on. Reverse. Speed 40.
Speed too high.
That's what happens. Speed 10. It'll now do 10. Speed 0. Just leave it here for a minute. So that is what happens, is because it's been governed, you've got that. So what I'm going to do now, so take this out now. Now this particular one here, which I've got, this one, you can't code that up. That one I've just shown you, that John Dewey, is the only one that is in the system. But there is a way of doing it, and you've got to do that with all your trains. Right, let's go down back here and now take this one out, which is John Dewey, and I'm going to now delete it off the system. Now what you've got to do now is to click it off to let it do that, to reset the part in Railmaster. You can see it's gone, it was down the bottom. If I go in again now, this is the way it is. You fiddle all your train like this. I do this, all my little locos, is I put them in. You can control them by what speed you set in on the controller here, but if you've got the restriction on, you will have a problem. So if you say 75, 80 mile an hour, you won't notice the difference. So I now go down to here and I'll put in number 54, which it was. 54. And instead of going to here and putting the code in, because I know the code, what I should do now is go to here. You can find these if you go into the Railmaster file, which is this one here. This is like this. Go to this one here. And then find Railmaster, which is there. Come on. Now then, what we want now is locos. Come on. Right, now I know that that particular one is 3705. Now I go down here to see, that one of mine is there, look. You can't code that one and you can't code that one. That is the only one you can code. So what you can do is do this, click onto that, click the open. What it'll do, it just put the loco in. So what I've got to do now is put in Ruston there. These are some things I also do. I can do a shunter and I can do diesel in there. Now what I can do now is I can set the eye speed, we say to 50, and we put the low speed to 10, which is what it was. We'll just put it in as a shunter there, like that. And now in here we put in Ruston. That saved it again, so we do that. We come out again now. Now the train is there. Now if I go to here now,
Railmaster voice control ready.
Ruston, forward, speed 50. Look at that. Speed 0. Reverse. Speed 10. And say this is, so that is the normal, so that is what the governing speed is. Speed 40. Speed 40. There it increases. Speed 0. Speed 0. That is what the difference makes. Now then, this particular gentleman, what he'd got was, if I go to here now, so I've covered mine, so mine's back in again as it was. I've changed that around. We'll call this while I'm just doing that, I'll just bring this one here and I'm just going to move this off the track for a minute. That's it, take it out of your way. I'll show you something else in a second. Right, so now if I go to, we'll call this one, and we'll call this one 96. Now if I do this, now what I've got here is if I put in that's 153. This is one particular train that this gentleman's got, which will be, when it comes up, there it is, the central train, that one there, see. So he's going to go in by the code number. So you put the code number in, like that. Now, as you see there, it's set at 75 mile an hour. So if I go to here and put it in as 80, well, this is what he's got there. Leave that at 10, doesn't matter about that. And what I'm going to do, put in here, is I'm going to put in central. And what we do now is click this. I haven't got this train, so it won't much effect onto my system. And the train should be sitting at the bottom of the list. If I go down the bottom of the list, there it is. So if I now go to here and do the same
Rail Master
again.
voice control ready.
Central. Forward. Speed 60. Works perfect. Speed 80.
Speed too high.
That is what's happening because it's been governed. So what you've got to do with that is you've got to do what we've just done. First of all, we'll just put that into stop mode. Out of the way. Now what I've got to do now is to take that one out. You can't swap it round. You've got to replace the Loco. So you've got to delete the old one and put the new one in. I'm afraid there's no other way around it. It's the same as if you're changing from the 3-digit codes to 4-digit codes. You've got to take the old one out before you can put the new one in with the 4 digits. You can't swap numbers. It won't let you. Right, so we now go down to there again, and we'll actually go to central trains, which is that one. And we now delete it off the system. And what you've got to do also is do this and make sure that that does that. That means it is now taken off the system, as you can see there. If I just put that back onto forward, out of the way, right, go back in again now, and we do it again. This is the problem he's had with it. Is he's done it by the coding. Now, as I say, a lot more of our little shunters and that, I've done them the other way around. If you've got backman trains, as I said before, you've got to put them in this way around. I'm just going to show you. But all these big ones, you know, when they're set at 100 mile an hour, I don't worry with them. I just leave them as they are. But when I do these smaller ones, I always do it this way around. So actually now is go into here and go into, we put that in as 95 again, 96 no matter. And what you're going to do now is code it up like this, as we just done before. Go to here, go to your Rail Master file, go to Locos, and this particular one is 2756. There it is, I've just added. There it is there, look, see? So what you do then is click it on, so the blue light part of it comes up, you click that, and it comes in there. So what you're going to do then is you can put in central, whatever you do, but I'll just put in, you've got to put this part in, else it doesn't like it. Right, now then, I can just put that in as a diesel, to make much dodge this one. Right, now if I now put this one in now at 80, which the chap has actually got, put this in as 10. We'll just put this in as a branch, doesn't make much difference. And then here I will now type in central, which that is. Now just click that and click that. That means it's set it into the system. Now if I now go to here again,
Rail Master voice control ready.
central, central, there it is, forward, speed 80, there you are, the train would actually run at 80 mile an hour, speed 90, it'll actually do it because you've taken the control out of the system, speed 0, And that is how you actually fiddle the trains. Now, one of the things is, if I go back into here, now the other part he's got, which I'm a bit curious about, he hasn't rang me yet, but I'm just doing this on the prelapse of it all. Go back into here now. One thing you must remember is which way round you've got them. Now then, what will actually happen, let me get this back up again. It comes up in a minute. Come on. This is why on videos, this is what the part 8 when I got going to this section, because it takes too long. Right. As we've done before, this is that central train there, which is that one. This is where people tend to go a bit wrong, because they cross this one with this one. Now what actually happens if you go to shunt, see, this is shunt, it'll do up to 30 mile an hour, it's shunt. The smaller trains won't, but that is what that will do. So the thing is, what he's most probably done, because you've done it at 80, he's reset that wrong. This one here, of course, you can go all the way up in the speed. Look, it'll go right the way up if you want to. Look at that. See, it goes all that speed, and that's what is most probably happened, is that he's got these two crossed. So when you're doing it, just make sure that the top one, which is the cruise one, is correct, and the shunt is the other one. And that is what I think has happened, is that he's got on the second train, which was a class 92, he's got it as a cruise speed is set at 60, but the voice control will not go above 15, because what he's done, he's crossed these over. See that one there, as I said, he's got it set at 60. Well, this is total same. He's got it at 30, and that's what happened. Is he's got them crossed around, I think. Now, what I'm going to do now is come out of there, and that is the problem you get with your trains, especially if you're using voice, because voice will not let you push over the limits. The speed controllers will only go so far. You might not notice it, but it is there. But as I say, if you look at this now, that Rushton there is set at 127 mile an hour, which it won't do, of course, but that is what it's done. It's actually set the train to a different speed limit. Now, one thing is, I've been building these, is I have Steve at the Hobby Goblin, which is my favourite shop. We've still got a restriction on going in, but I was over there last week and picked some wagons up. Now I'll show you what they are. They're these here. Now what he actually does, he's got a commission for having specially made wagons for local, and these are actually local collieries which we've got around here. So what I actually do is actually do this one.
Rail Master voice control
I
ready.
can come down here and do this a bit better. 4F. Sound on. Sound on. Speed 10. Speed 0. So these are specially commissioned. They're actually dapple wagons, but these are specially done for Steve. This is Steve Colliery. Matter of fact, my father-in-law was a deputy there at that one. The Potteries one, that's where I am, in the Potteries. There's some there for the Potteries. And this is Chapley Whitfield, which is another colliery, which none of these exist anymore, of course. I had an uncle working there, and actually my father worked at Berry Hill Colliery. So I've got a very long relationship with the collieries. But these are specially commissioned wagons which Steve has done. Speed 30. I'll put it into mile before that. Speed 20. Steve's got loads of these in at the moment. So if anybody wants any colliery wagons, Steve at the Hobby Goblin has got them. So they're lovely wagons. Whistle long. Speed 0. Speed 0. Forward. Speed 0. Yeah. So if anybody wants me at any time, you can always get me. I'm here 7 days a week. I don't go anywhere. I never have much, even with the lockdown. So I'm on 01782 302194. My email address is there. Now I've had one or two just recently where people have had problems with their railway. Is they can't get the controller talking to Railmaster, and point problems, one thing or another. So I've actually wrote to them back, emailed them back, saying, you know, contact me on this number, put TeamViewer on, and I'll do it in minutes for you, which I can do. Most of the things with the controllers I can do in minutes, and they've never replied back to me, and that is annoying. The thing is, they want my help, but they will not contact me. How the hell they think they're going to get it done, I do not know. But I'm always here. I've got a call coming in shortly from Australia, which is one of my people. I've got another one in Dubai. I've got them all over the place, and they do contact me, and you know, I can sort out points, I can sort out track plans, I can do anything. So please contact me if you've got any problems, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye.